first drawing file that we're going to make is for the pegboard part file. So I'm going to start with my base view, and I don't have any of my parts open, so I need to select which document I want to place on my drawing file. So I'm going to open an existing file, open my pegboard toy folder, and there is my pegboard. If you'll notice on the drawing file example on the website, you'll see that the scale should be 1:1, which it already is by default here. So I'm just going to drag my base view to the lower left-hand portion of my page. And then I'm going to put a top view in by clicking above it, a right side view clicking here, and then an isometric view here. And I can click OK. And I want to show my isometric view shaded, so I'm going to double click on it, and that will open this drawing view box back up, and I'm going to select shaded and click OK. Now our views are in there and we're ready to start annotating with dimensions and text. So I'm going to go to the annotate menu, and I'm going to start with the front view, and I'm just going to add a dimension for the total length. So I'm going to click on I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, click on the left edge, and click on the right edge, and then pull that 5.75 right above and click it into place. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck this so it will stop popping up. Next, I'm going to pan over and work on my right side view. I'm going to dimension the height. I'm just going to avoid that green dot. I don't want to click on that. That's the midpoint of the line. I'm going to click just above it, pull that 0.75 out, click it into place, and then I'm going to dimension the depth. Again, avoiding the green dot. I'm going to click off to the side here, pull it up, and put that 3.0 in place. Now the top view is a little bit more involved. There's some more dimensions and some text that we're going to add on here as well. But we're going to start by adding a center mark. So I'm going to choose that. And I'm just going to click on the outer portion of my round peg hole. And you'll notice it puts a center mark on there. And now I'm going to start adding some dimensions, starting with the diameter of the round peg hole. And then from the top edge to the center of that center mark, pull that over 1.5. Then I'm going to start going from the left edge to the center mark. That one's 1.5. Then from the left edge to this left edge of the triangle, 2.3. Then I'm going to dimension the total length, or width I should say, of my triangle hole. Again, avoiding the green dot. Pull that one down, 1.15. I'm going to go back to my left edge, to the left edge of my square, 3.75. Now the width of my square, 1.0. Now I'm going to add a dimension from the top edge to the top of my square, and then a dimension for the height of my square, like that. And the last thing that I need to add to this particular view is what's called leader text. So I'm going to choose that, click on my triangle, click again, then right click, continue, and it's going to ask me for some text, and we typically use 0.35 for our text size, but this could actually be just a little bit smaller. I'm going to go with 0.25. But we want to identify this triangle as an equilateral triangle. And so then you'll see that text show up there. The last thing we have to do is to fill out our title block. If you're already comfortable with this, you could probably go ahead and stop the video, but I'm going to show you just in case you need to see it. So I'm going to draw my text box for project name. Here is where the text size needs to be 0.35, and I'm simply going to call this Pegboard. And then I'm going to hit escape to get out of my text tool because I don't like where that text ended up. So I'm just going to drag it and try and center it a little bit. And I'm going to get my text tool again and enter my date. Obviously you would add, change my font size, you would put in whatever date today's date is, but for me it's going to be 12/6. And my scale, if you recall when we placed our views in there, our scale was 1:1. So it's 1:1. And then your name. And we want to make sure we have our first, not capitalize all of that, first and your last name. And if you need to, adjust it. So this drawing file is complete, so I'm going to save it in my Pegboard toy folder actually. And I'm going to save this as Pegboard drawing.